Hemi V8, and people had opinions. The same people that killed the Hemi sent me out here with these comments. It's not happening. We own it, we got it wrong, and we're fixing it. You hear that? That's our Hemi, and it's saying, I'm back.
Did he say what I think he said? That thing's got a Hemi!
Hell yeah, it does. You want more? Buckle up. Ram's coming back to NASCAR. Let's go. We're back in America's motorsport. The Hemi's back, and we ain't going anywhere. What do you think?
It's awesome.
By the way, that wasn't a green screen. A lot of people were super mad at me for actually driving that thing on the track. But there's no way they're letting me in that thing and not doing it. The Hemi's back. A whole bunch of other stuff under those car covers makes perfect sense. So you know what else? Figured might as well go back to racing. Might as well get back to America's motorsport, back to NASCAR. First the truck, with the intention to go to Cup after that.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting day. Obviously, you've seen the intro. You can see here on the screen, we're here to talk about Ram's return to NASCAR competition in the Craftsman Truck Series. So over the last few days, there's been several leaks and stuff and people that were at the event in Auburn Hills. I was one of 35 or so journalists that were invited to this event to talk about the return of the HEMI, to talk about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck program, and several other things that are coming down the road that are embargoed until then. But yeah, some people forgot to cut some of the pictures and video out of their stuff, so people kind of picked up that the Craftsman Truck was coming. But they are, as while this video is going live, they are basically right now at Michigan International Speedway for the NASCAR race doing an public unveiling of this truck. So it's kind of goes hand in hand. The embargo, they wanted to wait until they actually showed it off to the public. But again, if you're a Ram fan, a Dodge fan, a NASCAR fan, you're very excited to hear that they're going to be back into the sport. So we started hearing rumors back in February, right after the Daytona 500, that from catchfence.com, they basically said, hey, Ram and Dodge had put in paperwork saying that they want to go back to competition starting in 2026 for the Ram brand and 2028 for Dodge and Cup. And Tim basically confirmed this. He goes, this is true. He goes, we will be in Daytona in 2026 with this truck. And then we've been hearing rumors too about GMS Racing possibly being a team that, will be backed by Ram. We've been hearing that Cletus McFarlane, who's been racing ARCA series recently, could be one of the people driving a Ram NASCAR, basically in Craftsman Truck competition next year. Tim basically told us that, if you're wondering about what teams are going to be involved, nobody has signed up yet. There are talks going on, but nobody has signed up to be an official team yet.
We don't have a team. I got a truck. I got the intention. I'm writing a deal with NASCAR. I'm going to Daytona. How I'm going to actually do that? What's my team going to be? How I'm going to do it? I don't know. We're looking for a date for the prom right now. So how am I going to get to Cup? That's going to depend on how I get the truck. So however we get the truck, it's going to obviously weigh heavily on, do I have a path to Cup?
So with that being said, the unveiling of this truck will probably help them, with negotiating, bringing kind of other teams into the fold and kind of, building up excitement to try to maybe negotiate some contracts going forward. But Tim did say that he does plan on being at Daytona with this truck with at least 4 entries, even if he has to take and, put the entries in himself.
I think we need to have 4 trucks to be competitive, I think. Some people will tell you you need to have a minimum of 2. Some people will tell you you have a minimum of 6 to be part of the draft. But you can also do it with affiliate teams. You don't have to fund the whole thing yourself. But I think we need a minimum of 4, whether we do 4 on our own or whether we do 4 with one team, whether we do 4 with 2 teams, whether we get to 4 or 6 with affiliate teams. But I think we need a minimum of 4.
So Ram will be back in NASCAR competition in February. Now, it's a lot easier with the Craftsman truck because obviously most of the truck is spec. You basically, Ram did get permission to change the rear bumper a little bit, but the front end, the A-pillar forward, is basically different. Other than that, they don't have to have an engine program. They're going to be running Ilmor racing engines just like the other teams. So unlike Cup, it's going to take a lot less time to get back into the sport. So obviously that's why, it only takes about a year for them to get in. The other thing is he did confirm Dodge will return at a future date.
Intent to go to Cup. Cup is cars, Ram is trucks.
Yep.
Can you
We have
bridge
cars,
that
we have
gap?
cars in our company.
So another brand.
We have cars in our company.
Thank you.
I don't have cars.
And you want to build the audience.
Although everybody calls them Dodge Rams.
Yeah. But you yell. Last question. You want to build the audience for NASCAR in a big way. You got partners. You're working with Amazon. They're the new kid on the block on the broadcasting.
We got a whole bunch of stuff that we're working on that is going to be very exciting, but I don't want to share it with you yet.
Now, we've heard 2028. Tim didn't elaborate. He said it'll be probably in a couple years. But that makes sense because they have to find teams, they have to find an engine builder, they got to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and the cars are drastically different than the trucks. So that kind of made sense. But again, this is huge because we've been waiting since 2012 for Ram or Dodge to actually come back into competition. So it's very exciting. Now, looking at this truck, again, I was at the Design Dome, got to actually look at the truck and kind of feel around on it and stuff like that. The body lines that you see in the paint are just a wrap. Okay, it's basically the same as the other Craftsman trucks. The front end's drastically different, but what we can see in these pictures and stuff is the fact that the front end looks very much like the DT trucks. It does take elements. They say it took elements from the Warlock and the RHO and the Rebel. I mostly see the RHO because obviously the headlamps, like the decals for the headlamps, look like an RHO, and then they have the vents from the sides on there. We don't know if that's going to make it to the teams or not, but nonetheless, it does look really good. And a lot of people that were there at the event were like, Ram needs to make a sport truck, because we were looking at the side of the profile of the truck and stuff like that, and it just makes sense that if Ram were to bring a sport truck out, it would kind of go hand in hand with the NASCAR thing. But and a lot of people are going to be upset because obviously the NASCAR's a regular cab kind of setup where Ram doesn't have a regular cab pickup for the DT trucks. But you know what? They're back in racing. That's all I can say. They're back in racing. So anyways, it's a good looking truck. It's going to take some time for them to refine it. Hopefully they'll find some good teams and be competitive right off the bat. With it being the newest truck to the lineup, it'll probably be one of the most aerodynamic for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare against, basically with running the same engines. It'll be interesting to see how their aerodynamics play compared to Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. So with that being said, again, you're going to hear some comments from Tim in this video. You're going to hear, again, like he said, there's nobody signed up just yet, but we will hopefully hear soon from Ram about, possibilities of new teams coming on board.
We will be on track. We've been working on this for a while. That's the real truck. We didn't cobble that up. We'll be on track in Daytona in 8 months. And the way we're going to do it is unlike anyone else. The reason that we've been out of NASCAR for 12 years is a very tough ROI. It is a very tough business decision to make. But when we say we're back, when we say nothing stops Ram, when we bring the HEMI back, when we bring some of the other stuff that we haven't shown you, those car covers, it makes perfect sense to be back in this space and back up what we're saying. But again, we're going to do it different than everybody else. You've been there. The infield, all the manufacturers, it's all the same. Cars look the same, activation looks the same, not with us. When you go to MIS and future races after that, you're going to see a completely different tone. You're going to see an activation that is not a pop-up tent, khaki pants, and a product brochure. You're going to see a lounge. You're going to see music. You're going to see drinks. You're going to see people having fun. And you're also going to see our symbol of protest looks exactly like a mechanical bull, doesn't it? So you're going to get a chance to ride the HEMI. You're going to come infield, you're going to sign the release, ride the Hemi, but not stay out for 8 seconds. If you can stay on the red line, you're going to get the Hemi badge of honor. You're going to get a t-shirt that no one can buy. You got to earn it by staying on the red line. And trust me, this isn't just a stunt. This isn't the first thing. This is an indication of how we're coming back to NASCAR, how we're going to do it our way, how we're going to shake up this sport and really make our presence known. The reason we're going to do it, 20 million people are NASCAR fans. 20 million people are avid NASCAR fans. I'm more concerned about the people that are in the parking lot of NASCAR races. 20 million people, 50% of them drive a pickup truck. Out of the 50%, 20% of them already buy a Ram. So the lift from 20 million to 10 million to 20% of that, there's no ROI unless you do it differently. So our objective is to take the 20 million and turn it to 80 or 100 million. And we have a plan. We know how we're going to do it. We think we have a path to get to that. We think people are going to like the way we're doing it because it's going to be fun. Not ready to share all the details with you yet, but I told you that the experiential piece was going to be just a little bit of how we're doing it. It's going to get crazier from there. That commercial that you saw is going to run right before the start of engines at MIS. Just before that runs, so for the people in the stands and for the people on TV, they're going to see that right before the start of the race. But before that, roughly 2 minutes before that, they're going to see a Ram 5500 coming down the straight. As it's coming down the straight, there's a custom-built trailer on the back, unlike anything anybody's ever seen. And that trailer then opens up, butterflies open, and it cantilevers out into a donut trailer. Why? Why? I don't know. Why do a wheelie on the pier in New York City? Why drop a demon from a helicopter? Because you can and it's fun and nobody else is doing it. So coming down the front straight while everybody's getting ready for the race, this is going to be coming down the front straight doing 360 donuts all the way. We're setting the tone right there on how we're coming back to NASCAR, and it's going to build from that moment all the way to Daytona. It's not going to be we're going to go dark and then we're going to show up in Daytona. It's going to keep building with more stuff that you're seeing under those car covers coming up. So Q3, Q4, you're going to see a lot more of this and a lot more of the real product that ties into exactly what this is going to be. Sorry, Mark's going to tell you how we designed the truck.
It's easy. We have the best looking truck. So that was again. I love my job to be able to take our production, front end and put it on this truck. I've been able to work on our Cup cars in the past, other NASCAR drag racing, but this was really a fun one to work on. Working from the B-pillar forward, capturing as much of that DNA from our RHO as possible on the front of this truck, and of course working within the rules and the requirements that NASCAR put on us. They've been great to work with. It's been a blast to do it, and we think we have the best looking truck out there. We were able to change a few things on the back of the truck as well through the rules, the rear balance, rear tailgate as well. But we are ready and we are excited to go racing.
I really hope that, they can find, like, the rumors are true and they can get, like, more than just 4 trucks out there. I think that would be awesome. But again, the plan is to have at least 4 factory back trucks. Now, with Dodge, Tim didn't elaborate, a date, but we've heard rumors that it's going to be 2028. And we've also heard rumors that the HEMI will eventually make its way into the Charger. So if they can do that, which it sounds like they will, if they can bring the HEMI back around, which honestly, it will be a couple years down the road, that might line up with their return to NASCAR. Just saying. I don't know if, Tim didn't elaborate on anything. Obviously, he's not going to talk about future product and stuff like that, especially for something that's not his brand anymore. But nonetheless, it should be very exciting if you're a Mopar, Ram, Dodge fan. Again, going forward, this is a huge drastic difference in pace and change from where we were just a few months ago. And like I said, hopefully, give it a couple of months, we're going to see some very exciting stuff going on with the Ram brand. So stay tuned. Let me know what you think down below about this new NASCAR Craftsman Truck entry. Tell me what teams you think there might be, or what teams would be good. And make sure to check out my article on Mopar Insiders and 5th Gen Rams. I'll leave a comment or a link down below in the description. So until then, and the next time, I will see you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye.